As I was coming up here, I heard Crystal. And Crystal has only gotten better and better. As fiery as ever. And she of course ended by telling you all why the ILP needs your support for your children, for you, and for the country as a whole. And then Dr. Wolf talked about agriculture, and she gave you some of the agricultural policies of the party. And then you had, of course, Dean Francois. And I was just telling Dean Francois, tomorrow morning when he is on the sunshine hour, to make sure he carries the same fire which he had here tonight. And you know, when we begin our public meetings, all these here are cottage meetings. We are busting in no crowd. We are having the same people in jerseys every other night. We are, of course, paying for no big ad on TV and radio and papers. We are doing that. We are having the same man with a bell from meeting to meeting. From meeting to meeting to meeting. Same bellman. Right. So he's the national bellman. We are having that. We're going from cottage to cottage. The small location. Talking to you on a one-on-one almost. Very intimately. Getting your problems and see how best we could help you. And when the time comes for us to have our mammoth meeting, then we shall hit the road in ways unimaginable. And then I heard our chairman, Rika Ramjit, top of the line, as always, as usual. In fact, I tell you something. Yesterday, I pulled a fast one on her. Yesterday, we were invited to talk to the Joint Trade Union Movement. Ansel Roger, Cabera, and all the 7 or 8 or 9 unions. And we had this meeting with them. They wanted to know what is our view on 8 or 9 points on our agenda. And I had a dental work for 2 or 3 hours. And when I went to the meeting, I said, something, Rika, I have a pain here. You take over now. And I told something. She saw it for the first time. And she carried on for over an hour. And if you were a fly on the wall, you too would be impressed. Absolutely superb. Absolutely. And therefore, I want to thank her for last night and also for tonight. But I want to ask her, you know, she has a column in the Sunshine newspaper. I want to ask her, in this week's column, to write something about the letter of comfort. You know why? She told the unions yesterday, Roger them were appalled. She said, listen, Mr. Roger, the letter of comfort is a useless document, quote unquote. She said yesterday evening to Roger, Mr. Roger Cabera, letter of comfort is a useless document. And this government, therefore, is carrying on this farce, as it were. They're fooling the people by letter of comfort. Take it to the bank now. You can't get Susuhan with a letter of comfort. Okay? Waste of time. It's to fool you. And if you could do that for me, the next issue, for all of us here, of the whole country, let them know, letter of comfort is a useless document. Done. Thank you. So my friends, tonight, we are here in Tokosa and Grande, in Blake Avenue Extension by Shirley. Yes, by Shirley. And we are coming here tonight to talk to you intimately, one-on-one, so to speak. I am coming here tonight to remind you that in 2010, you voted for a fellow called Dr. Rupert Griffith. I know that, and you know that now. And believe you me, we will never make the same mistake again. In 2010, there were 27,000 persons who voted. There were 27,000 persons in the constituency who could have voted. 18,000 persons voted. 18,025 to be exact. Griffith received 9,325 votes. And Pink Panther, you remember when I called him, of course, Pussy Panther? Those were the days when I was like Dane, I was fiery. They had me tricked. I was fooled. I believed that In those days, the PP was milk and honey. How today they have turned into vinegar. So Griffith, of course, beat Pink Panther, Eric Taylor, by 700 votes. Taylor got 8,625. Griffith got 9,325. 700 votes. And when you believe that a man who would have won by such a slim majority would have come to his constituency and work hard and please his constituents so as to increase the margin, he failed you. He failed you. In 2010, you, like me, like all of us, believe in the message of the PP government. We believe in the message of the UNC. And after you elected Griffith, you told Griffith to go to Parliament to represent you. 700 vote winner was elected to go to Parliament to represent you. Let us review briefly how this $50,000 a month minister, how he has represented you for the last 4 years. Let us review how Griffith has represented you in the last 4 years. My dear friends, don't take my word for it. Go on the parliamentary records and see for yourself how many times Griffith represented you in Sangre Grande. I'll tell you, between 2010 and tonight, for almost more than 4.5 years in Parliament, Griffith spoke for less than 10 times. Listen to his record in Parliament. In 2010, for the whole year, he spoke in Parliament once during the debate. 2011, for the whole year, he spoke once during the budget debate. 2012, for the whole year, he spoke once. Budget debate. 2013, for the whole year, he spoke once. Budget debate. 2014, for the whole year, he spoke once. Budget debate. And in 2015, your MP spoke once, but this time on the National Trust of Trinidad and Tobago. So therefore, that's his record. On motions in Parliament, Parliament had over 100 motions. On motions, he spoke 4 times. He spoke once, obviously once, in the no-confidence motion against Kamala. He spoke. He had to. He spoke once on the no-confidence motion against the Speaker, and foolishly too. He spoke once on the standing orders in Parliament, and he spoke once in the Committee of Privileges. 4 times in 4.5 years. But what is worse, my friends, not once for all those 10 times, not once on all those 4 motions has Griffith spoken on behalf of the people of Sangre Grande. Not once. The records are there. I didn't come here to make up anything. That is the record of performance of your MP, your PP, Dr. Griffith. I ask you tonight, are you better off than you were in 2010? The answer is no. If that put a stone in Griffith's place, could you have been better off? The answer is yes. The answer is yes. Put a stone in Griffith's place and you had to be better off. Yes. Serious talk. 4.5 years. 50,000 a month. 4 or 5 secretaries and so on. Offices. And he didn't serve you. He didn't serve you. He served himself and Keith Richards. I'll come to him just now. My friends, in the last 50 years, this constituency has tried almost every party. You tried the PNM, you tried the NAR, You try the UNC. And I'm saying, are you better off today? Answer is no. Answer is no. And therefore, since you have tried all those parties before, and those parties have failed you, the time has come when you have to fail those parties. And you have to now give the ILP the chance to represent you, to serve you. For the past 4.5 years, Griffith collecting $50,000 a month, I collecting $1. And go Shogunas West with my $1 and ask them about representation. Ask them about performance. And as of course, we can say, ask them about action. $1. $1. My friends, as far back as 1976, 39 years ago, 39 years ago, you have selected persons whom you expected would have represented you. For the last 39 years, you chose persons in this constituency whom you thought would have represented you. Let us look at those persons, and you be the judge of their competence. My friends, in 1976 and 1981, your MP was Lionel Robinson, PNM. In 86, your MP was Joseph Tony, NAR. In 1991, your MP was Andrew Casimir, PNM. In 95, 2000, 2001, 2002, your MP was Roger Boynes, PNM. 2007, your MP was Indra Senan Oja Maharaj, PNM. And Manning spared you from any further punishment when he called election in 2010. In 2010, because if she had stayed for 2 more years, or you're dead. So Manning called elections 2 years before time, and you all got rid of Oja and put Griffith. Put Griffith. In 39 years, you had 7 representatives, and today, after 39 years, and 7 different representatives, you're still struggling. You still, of course, badly, I listen to Dane, badly off. I listen to him. Ask yourself if you're fair to your children and to your country. 39 years, 7 different MPs, and you're no better off. Not one of them help you to make your community better. Not one of them help to lift up this area, like Anissa Mohammed, the female cricketer from Sangre Grande, who today plays for the national women's cricket team, first-class cricket, and who, of course, has a number of cricket records. Highest wicket taker in the T20 International, the first West Indian woman to take 5 wickets, and so on and so on. She brought credit to you. She brought fame to you. Griffith and the other 7 brought disgrace. Disgrace. My dear friends, when we came last in this constituency on Sunday, August the 18th, 2013, we were on the local government campaign, and we urge you then to stay far, very far from this PP government. And you listened to us then, but only in part. In other words, you left the PP, but what you did was to exchange Tweedledum for Tweedledee. And therefore, you didn't listen to us in full. So you listened to us in part. Tonight, therefore, we are coming to you, and we are asking you once again to vote them out. Vote them out. The PP government has now become even more power hungry and more power driven than ever before. And this you must not tolerate. The PP, they are vulgar And they take this whole nation for a bunch of fools. My dear friends, this PP government is a government that promised to do things differently. They had promised change, and they give you exchange. They had promised you service, and they have given you abandonment. They had promised you democracy, and they have given you autocracy. But worst of all, they had promised you an honest government, but instead, they have given you the most corrupt government ever. They have turned what should have been an honest government into a den of thieves. A den of thieves. How then can you explain the elevation of Keith Richards, who lives in Maloney, and today he's a big Sawati in Grande. He's the right-hand man of Rupert Griffith. He's Griffith's unofficial advisor. He's chairman of the sports committee in Grande. He's chairman of the Grande Carnival Committee. He, of course, is the regional manager of the URP program. He has, of course, a salary of $10,000 a month just to be regional manager of URP. He has, of course, a 6-team CPAP contract. To get with his salary, which he does and earns at $30,000 a month. How do you explain that? Why one man who don't even live here could get so much and you ain't get a little kakada? How long could this continue, I ask you? This year so far, this constituency has gotten over 100 URP contracts given to Griffith by Rambichan. He doesn't give me any Shagona's West. Shagona's West, I got none. Not one. Because I stand for what is right. But in Togosa and Grande, he gave Griffith over 100. And less than 10% of those contracts have come to the people of Togosa and Grande. Less than 10%. In fact, I'm telling you now that more than 90% of those contracts were sold at a percentage, were sold for money. And Griffith is aware of this. When you say of contracts in Togosa and Grande, I'm saying, with regard to the sale, there are no respect of persons. None. Other URP contracts, instead of coming to the people of Grande, okay. The people of Grande, I'm saying to you again, that those contracts, instead of coming to the people of Grande, have been sold to gangsters, from Atura to Martelot to Grand Riviere, one of whom was killed in a shootout with the police a few weeks ago. Those are Griffith's friends. It's to them he gave the contracts. And I'm telling you, if you play puppies, you must get stung by the fleas. And Griffith Day of Reckoning is coming. And while all this is taking place, while all this corruption is taking place, the law order officials, you, me, all of us, we low-income people, all of us, you in Grande, who barely able to make ends meet, while all this is taking place, you are suffering and eating the bread the devil need. Eating the bread the devil need. What, my dear friends, for me is most disgusting is that while all these corrupt activities are taking place in this constituency, you, the people who live here, you, I'm saying, are not getting the benefit of good governance. You don't enjoy the opportunities which are there for you. You can't because you are denied them, my friends. In fact, I heard the infants were talking. I want to repeat, in this constituency, as it obtains now, there is no hope for any young person in this constituency. There is no hope for any young person in this constituency as obtained at present. And under the PP, there will be none. Under the PNM, there was none. In fact, I have a stick I could not hear from Terry Rondon talking to Cleveland Raphael. And you're saying, of course, that all the governments before, bad. Look at here. Taiwan says, he said PLM was bad and PP bad. All he didn't say is try LP. But you can understand that. Look at here. Look at here. He says, of course, he says, he was asked, Terry, why do you think successive governments have neglected backlogs so long? Cleveland, let me say, all rural areas in Trinidad have undergone some kind of neglect. From Aruga to Grande, I tell you, government comes and government goes, and people here are neglected. He asked him, why this neglect? Because they take people for granted, he says. He said, pay them too? He says, pay them, yes. Tell you Rwandan. Not me. Not me. And I'm telling you, therefore, they take it for granted. They feel, of course, if they put a kobo here, they're bound to win. But I tell you something, they can put a peacock or a peahen this time, they ain't going to win. In 2010, this constituency had the highest unemployment in the country. Today, in 2010, it was 40%. Today, it is 55%. In this constituency, 55% of the people are unemployed. Then said so. I repeat, 55% of the people are unemployed. And those who are employed are in some makeshift kind of work. CPAP and URP. I ask you therefore, in 2015, are you better off today than you were 5 years ago? The answer is no. In 2010, the fishing industry in Sangre Grande was thriving. Today, it is virtually in a coma. It's dead. It is dead. When you believe, in fact, it is so dead that not to buy a fish, you have to mortgage your house to buy a fish. And the price they're selling it for. It's dead. In 2013, I reminded you that your brothers and sisters of Grande and environs, I told you then, you must stand firm like your forefathers. When we came here in 2013, I told you that Sangre Grande means great blood, and it refers to a struggle which the people here made against the Spaniards. I told you in 2013, when of course the Spaniards fled higher up, they had of course a smaller fight taking place there. Less blood, so they call it Sangre Chiquito. And therefore you are famous here for fighting from day one. Oh my God, if you could fight, if your forefathers could fight the Spaniards, you can't fight Kamla? You can't fight Kamla? And I say, Kamla, I want to tell you this, those of you who are wavering. Today, Pande's UNC is no more. And if by chance you had any doubt about that, I want to show you a poster which the UNC sent out. This poster, they sent it out yesterday. You know what this poster says? In this poster, they invite the public to attend a ministers' interactive session by Ministers Kevin Ramnarine and Vasant Bharat at Gulf City on Monday, April 22, 2015. That's what it says. You have been invited to an interactive session at Gulf City on Monday coming. But worse than that, they describe it as a wine and cheese event. A wine and cheese event. Look at here. Pande's UNC would have held such a meeting in a stronghold, Caroni or Kuva or Naparima. Pande's UNC. And Pande's UNC wouldn't have wine and cheese, he had doubles and Sahina. But Kamla UNC is different. They have gone so far from the people, they don't understand. Pande's UNC will have some pilau too. In Kamla case, they have lobster, wine and cheese. And you're telling me that Kamla UNC is Pande UNC? Let me tell you something. Pande had warned me a long time ago that what I was doing by putting Kamla in government was the wrong thing. I didn't listen to Pande. I behaved as if stick breaking my ears. And today, today we're paying the price for that. Today we're paying the price for that. But I want to tell you, however, that the ILP will be different from what Kamla has today. We in the ILP will be a party that at all times will represent you, the people. We'll act on your behalf, and we shall perform to your satisfaction. For too long, you in this constituency have suffered. For too long you have suffered. For too long you have been kept down. For too long you have been fooled by phony, greedy, and corrupt politicians. The ILP will make a difference through representation, action, and performance. The ILP will look after your best interests. The ILP will look after your best interests. The ILP will never deny you of your basic needs. I listened to Dr. Dan Wolf. Agriculture is almost dead. We said before, fishing is dead. There are no industries here. How will you survive? How will you survive, my friends? I'm saying, therefore, that the ILP will not be like the government of today, who fatten their pockets through graft, greed, and corruption. No government who deprives you of your basic rights should expect to hold on to your reins of power. I beg you tonight, do not allow your emotion to guide you. Don't allow your heart to guide you. Use your brain. Use your brain and use this finger. This is the most powerful thing for change. This finger. And the time is coming very soon when they'll come to you for this finger. When they come to you for this finger, bite them. They'll do that, they'll do that. They'll pave some of your road and so on. In fact, right now they're paving road that don't even need paving. Right? But they're doing that. And for two reasons. One, the more they pave, is the more kickback they get. And secondly, of course, they believe that they could fool you because you could see them working. Let them pave. Let them, of course, give food card. Take it. I see they have a big drop of houses now and so on. I sure not one of you get a house. Not one of you. Right? Nothing, nada, zilch for this constituency. And they expect you to go and stain this finger. This finger might tell you this, yes. My dear friends, the ILP will never disrespect you. We'll stand with you at all times to represent, act, and perform for you and on your behalf. We will work for the people of this constituency to ensure that we create a better future for you and your children. My friends, this is a government that is building mega buildings, mega projects all over the country. In Cuba, they're building a 1.2 billion children's hospital that is 15 minutes away from another hospital in Mount Hope. In Mount Hope, 15 minutes. 15 minutes. If you get labor pain, it must take a little longer than 15 minutes. But they're building one in Cuba, 1.2 billion with the Chinese, the very Chinese who they cost money about. The very Chinese who I too joined them cost money about. The very same Chinese. Lord, what did I do, Lord? What did I do? Lord, what did I do? How many more times again I must beg pardon and say, I'm sorry. What did I do? What did I do? But I tell you something. What I did, I can undo. So all over the country, South Trinidad, of course, South Trinidad, that is, they have mega projects in Couva, in Debe, a $1 billion law campus. When it's in Augustine, you are the biggest law campus you want. But in Debe, they want their own campus, $1 billion. In Presal, they're building a playground for $40 million. But in Oja Road, and Grande, they can't complete a sports center for you. In Oja Road, and Grande, they can't complete your sports center. So when I come here 2 weeks ago, I said, Dane, what is that? You said that obscenity is the sports center that can't finish. And let me tell you something. If you think that bad, this is the same government, though they're building all these things and so on, this same government did not pay the National Helicopter Service Company Limited for 5 months. The National Helicopter Service Limited, for 5 months, didn't pay them. For 2 months, the pilots haven't gotten pay. The pilots plan to go up in the air and gonna go slow. They have planned, you know, the players. Since you have total policing, you have total flying. And they were taking the ministers to go up in the air and slow down. 5 months no pay. And I had to go in Parliament on Friday last, ask that question. And they rush and pay them. And then they're asking of course, who tells Jack one of that? 135 pilots and get paid. Men who's in the roads and so on, the mortgage and so on. 135 of them, and they ask them, who tells Jack one of that? The very same night, Katie's commissioner truck of fuel to carry fuel Kumoto for helicopters, because the helicopters had no gas, had no fuel. And Katie's took a truck and sent to Kumoto to get them fuel, because why? Jack Warner raised the question. But that's our function in the RP. That's our function. And that's why for the bail bill, we are the only party that spoke against it. I didn't stay to vote. I apologize for that. My chairman nearly killed me. But the bail bill, we said it was wrong. And one day, very soon, when you come back to you, the chairman will tell you why. So I'm saying, therefore, that this is what you have as a government. On Tuesday last, we in the ILP were invited to attend a meeting, I said to you before, by the Joint Trade Union Movement. And we were shocked to learn that today, the labor movement is worse off under MacLeod than ever before. MacLeod does not know if it's a MSJ or a UNC or what. He's in Wonderland. All he knows that he could act when the PM leaves. If ever you have a passing cloud, that is it. That is it. After 5 years, after almost 5 years, MacLeod only this week, on the eve of the government departure, MacLeod is talking about the IRA and amendments to the IRA. 5 years! 5 years! That has to be a gross insult to our collective intelligence. In this constituency, what are your problems? In the main, poor garbage service, bad roads, high unemployment, and land regularization. I catch you. I catch you. I pronounce it even better than Baker. I can say it twice. So I'll say, corrected the land situation. Right? Those are your problems. And I say tonight that we in the ILP shall change that. Within 1 year of us being in government, 1 year, I tell you, we shall change that. We shall give this constituency special treatment. Special treatment. And this is no pie in the sky, because I say again, the most depressed, the most deprived, the one that is suffering the most is this constituency. This constituency. You have not to be punished for where you live. No way at all. And we shall tell you in a few weeks' time, when our manifesto is launched, we shall tell you specifically what we're doing for this area. My friends, the time for change is now. And you, the people here, must be changers. The future of this constituency lies in the political choice you make in the next few months. Choose wisely and vote ILP. No one must ever come here and fool you to get you to change this finger. No one must do that. This finger is powerful, I say to you. And when the date is called for the elections, we are asking you to go and stain your finger for the ILP because you want performance, you want representation, and you want action. This message is as relevant today as it was when we said so in 2013. 2 short years later, 2015, you have seen what happens when you select the wrong people. And under this Prime Minister, corruption is rising, crime is rising, the public debt is rising, ministers being removed from office is rising, Grande getting into trouble is rising. The level of disrespect to you, the people of this country and most of this constituency, is rising. The theft of ideas from previous government is rising. For example, I don't listen to the Monday Night Forum. I do that kind of time. I don't listen to them. I don't see them. But from time to time, I get reports. And in one report, the Prime Minister said she building a causeway to Carenage. Friends, I want to tell you something. When I became the Minister of Works and Transport 2010, I found in the office plans from the PNM for a causeway. I found in the office. I went to the Prime Minister. I told her about the plans for the causeway. She gave me a big long strips. And she said, of course, it costs too much. It costs too much. But the minute Ramhit and Calco and Aboud get land in Carenage and Chaguaramas, she building causeway. She building causeway for them, not for you. Not for you. If those guys, I say again, Ramhit, Calco and Aboud won't give them free lands from the state for the time being, because we take it back, you know. We take it back. We shall take it back. We shall take it back. So if they don't give them lands for the time being in Chaguaramas, she never built a causeway. But then again, this is our Prime Minister. This is our Prime Minister. She goes to China. She talks to the Chinese Prime Minister. He says, of course, he tells her, chung, 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 chung. And he says, chung, 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 boat. And she says to him, chung, 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 buy. And she buys a boat. She buys a boat in China for $200 million. Ask the Coast Guard, the boat can't work. The boat can't work. It can't do the job of an OBV. But she goes to China, eat her chow mein, and she buy a boat. She goes to Panama. She goes to Panama. She sees a causeway in Panama. I was in Panama, I know about the causeway. I was there when it was being built. I was there after it was built. I traveled on it too. She goes to Panama to Gary Rabbit and son. She traveled on the causeway. She want causeway. And I bet you, if she go to Grenada, she want to bring it back here, some lambi. Or where she go, window shopping with our money. Window shopping. Window shopping. That's the Prime Minister you have. This government is moving in the wrong direction. I am asking you tonight to let the ILP restore in your constituency and in you and your lives some dignity. Let us give you the kind of respect you deserve. Let the ILP represent you, because no other party can do that better than we. And before I end, I want to recognize Arlene Natty and Natty wife and all those communist activists, and one who died, Arlene Natty wife. Eileen died. And Natty is here. Natty is here, Natty is. Natty, we want to extend to you our sympathy on your wife's passing. I was here a week ago or 2 weeks ago in another similar circumstances. But of course, these things happen. And of course, over that, we have no control over that. But we here share and empathize with you in your hour of grief. So again, we have, from you, from the ILP, you have our sympathy and our condolences. We need more like Arlene in any case. So as I close, I want to say to you that the choice is yours. You could do two things. In fact, three things. You can go backward and put back Griffith. Don't do it, don't do it. You do it. You do it. You do it. Go backward and put Griffith. You could stand still and do nothing. Or you could be thoughtful and progressive and think about children and put the ILP. My dear friends, the choice is yours. But the last choice is the best and the only one for your survival. I thank you.